What's up, gang? Noor Kidwai here, letting go with Noor. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about jealousy, and in particular, what jealousy shows us about ourselves. Because when we get jealous of somebody, usually what we see in that person that we're getting jealous of is something that we're having trouble expressing within ourselves. And that's a big realization, and it's a big way we can use jealousy as more of a tool to kind of understand ourselves. Now, first, I just want to say if you feel jealousy, we all feel it. So there's no reason to feel shame, because jealousy in itself is a negative emotion, but shame is like the worst negative emotion, or one of the worst. So when you feel jealousy, sometimes on the spiritual path, where we are trying to understand that these negative emotions don't serve us, so we want to get rid of them, we want to let them go. But you start feeling them, and that's completely natural. So when you feel jealousy, and I was doing this myself, I would sometimes have that feeling of shame, like, oh man, jealousy's there again. That means the spiritual path isn't working, or whatever that is. But it's just you're becoming aware of this jealousy, and it's a signal. Jealousy is something that you can use as a signal to really see things that you feel that you're lacking in yourself. And it's a completely natural thing. So when jealousy arises, accept it and just go like, hey, there's some jealousy there. What can I learn from it? And don't let that shame take you over, because shame is one of the worst negative emotions, and that really just pushes you down into just really low ways of thinking. So that's number one I want to talk about. But let's talk about what jealousy shows us, because like I said, usually we get jealous of something that we perceive in somebody else that we're having trouble expressing in ourselves. And for me, let me show you this in my way and give you an example so that you can probably understand it yourself. I'm a comedian. If you watch this channel, you know that. And when I used to get jealous of people, there was two things I used to get jealous of the most. One was comedians who are really good at accents, and that's because I suck at accents. I'm working on it, but it's definitely not one of my weaknesses. But number two, I used to get mad at comedians who found this authenticity in them, and they would be able to go online or go in front of an audience, and they were just authentic. They were being themselves. And because of that, a lot of times they would kill, or a lot of times they would bomb, because when you're being authentic, people either love you or sometimes they hate you, because there's this authentic energy. But I used to get jealous of that too. And it was because those were two things that I felt I was lacking. I knew I lacked that accent, performing and doing accents, which is like a big tool for comedians. There's a lot of comedians who do accents pretty much as their main thing, and they have a lot of success, and it's super cool. And the second thing was authenticity. For years, I was having trouble being truly authentic on stage or in front of a camera. And when I saw that in other comedians, it gave me jealousy. Now, of course, I wasn't conscious of it in that sense. A lot of times in that jealousy, I was just kind of being like, oh man, these guys, like, accents are lame, and these comedians can't even write jokes. They have to rely on their accents. I used to think like that. Or the authenticity of, be like, this guy's an idiot. Half the time he bombs. His stuff isn't even that, like, what is he doing? Like, you used to like have these kind of jealous thoughts, which turn into these like kind of like you're just wishing bad on a person. But that's because inside of me, those were two things I felt that was lacking. And luckily, when I started doing the spiritual work and understanding what jealousy was, when the jealousy popped up, I kind of was like, oh wait, like, this is what it is. And the accent thing was an easy thing to let go of, because it was like, whatever. And the authenticity thing was like, okay. I started realizing, hey, I'm jealous of a few of these comics because they are being authentic. But it's like, that's okay. Now I can be authentic too. And the thing is, once you get rid of your attention, once you stop putting it in this jealousy, in these jealous thoughts, into that energy, and you let that energy leave you, and I'll teach you that at the end of this video, how to do that. Once you get rid of that, all of a sudden you become more authentic, because you're now in your own energy, because your energy, your attention's not in those jealous thoughts. So you're not in these negative energies, and you come up into this more positive space, and that's where your authenticity comes in. So once I kind of got that, and I kind of stood there and have been like, hey, like, okay, I get jealous at people who have accents, so I know that's not my thing. That's fine. I can accept that. And then I also get jealous at these people of being authentic, and it's like, okay, then why can't I be authentic? And I ended up taking my attention off of the jealousy and into that place, and I slowly started becoming more authentic. I slowly started to learn more about myself, what was my strengths. And it's like, okay, I'm like an amazing writer. In comedy, that's my big thing. So rather than being like getting jealous of people finding success with accents, I was like, why don't I work on my writing and finding ways to make myself successful from that? And I did it with the sketch writing I started doing, which brought me a lot of opportunity and work towards me. And then I took that a step further, and I said, like, what's even more authentic to me? What's even more something that's unique to me? And it's like, hey, I'm really good at explaining these spiritual concepts to people, and I add a little bit of humor to it too. And now I'm releasing these shorts. If you watch some of my shorts, those are the ones that are actually getting me some traction on this channel. It's like, hey, that's me. I can explain spiritual concepts to people, and then add a little bit of humor to it. That's unique, and that's like me being authentic, because that's what I love to do. When I'm like, if I'm just like chilling with friends, a lot of times I like to have deep conversations and then just like shit talk as well, like joke around with it. That's my authenticity. And it took me to get rid of that jealousy, or to stop giving that jealousy energy, to kind of like really come back to my own energy and find this and like become more authentic in this way. And that's what I wanted to say. Now, when you feel jealousy, that means there's some negative emotion in you still. And on this channel, I talk about letting go of that negative emotion. So when you feel jealousy, especially when you're home alone and you have a chance just to sit down, maybe think of that person you constantly get jealous of, and think of it, feel that energy in you where it is. Usually a lot of times it's in your stomach or gut, around that area. It can be anywhere though. It's a feeling. It's a feeling, and it's an energy inside of you. And allow that feeling to come up, and stop judging it. It's like, okay, there's some jealousy there. I allow it to come up, and I allow it to do whatever it needs to do. And I stop resisting it. Just feel it and let it move around you. If you do that in a consistency, that energy is going to come out of you and eventually leave. And it's going to show you something more about yourself. A lot of times there's some insecurities inside of you that you don't feel good enough. And you want to get rid of that, because you know what? You are good enough. I promise you. And I've had those feelings 1,000 times, and you know, they can leave. And when they leave, it's just like you just start doing your thing, and doing it for yourself, and doing it for people you want to help. And everything else, it doesn't matter. It's such a big wide world. We have so much opportunity. So allow that jealousy to come out of you. It's a letting go method. So allow it to come up. Don't resist it. Allow it to move around as it feels, and eventually it will leave. It might take a day, it might take a few weeks to a month, or whatever it is. It will leave, depending on how strong that pattern is. And once it leaves, you'll start to find that true authenticity, and you'll start to find those other things that you might feel like you're lacking inside of you, which was making you jealous. But the truth is, you can go and gain those things yourself. And it's truly, I believe that, and I know you can do it. So I really do hope you can make it through that. Feel free to leave a comment, guys, if there's any questions you have. Like and subscribe. I appreciate all the following and kind comments. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Peace.